Good afternoon. My name's Kenneth King. I'm running for Assembly District 17. I am the challenger in this, and as you can see how much my opponent cares about everybody out there, he decided he wasn't even going to show up or even RSVP it. Me and my wife have been in Las Vegas since 95. I'm retired U.S. Navy. I retired in 98. I decided to do this because back in 1983 I took an oath to uphold the Constitution. I feel like sitting around on my ass. I was not doing that. So, and I apologize if I'm not supposed to use that word. We don't have the time or the luxury to wait on the federal government to decide what they want to do for the state of Nevada. The state of Nevada needs to take care of it themselves. And I am a blue-collar worker. I am a union electrician. Low voltage, that's telephones and cameras and stuff like that. So I'm hoping I can take some of the blue-collar views to Carson City.
Yes, Mr. King, my name is Don Woolbright. I appreciate the fact that you've taken the time out of your life to run. I think it's great. I've got a question for you. Actually, I've got a couple of questions. You know, times are tough right now. We're in the middle of a little bit of an economic down spiral, and we're basically getting our tax revenue from sales tax, and every time it seems like we get the new quarterly numbers, it looks like that it's dropping. And every time that the legislature has to get together, it seems like they're talking about either cutting taxes, or raising taxes, or cutting services. And my question to you, sir, is if we continue with this downward spiral, and it turns out that we have an additional shortfall in the budget, what is it that you're going to do? Cut taxes? Raise taxes? Cut services? Some kind of combination of both? Or do you have some kind of a different idea, sir?
I believe I got some of the different ideas. I'm on board for the zero-based budget. I don't think anybody in the state of Nevada should automatically get a pay raise. I mean, I believe that all the departments of the government should account for every dollar they need to use. To me, we're one industrial base, and it's based on the tourists. When economy goes down, we don't get our tourists. We need to broaden our industrial base in Nevada. To do that, we got to work on our education system, because they're not going to come to the state of Nevada if we're number 50 out of 50 on education. They're not going to come to Nevada if our transportation world is in the 1950s and 1960s. We need to work on our transportation. One thing we need to do, I like hugging trees every once in a while, but they're trying to build an industrial airport here in Las Vegas. From my understandings, and I could be wrong on this, but from my understandings, for 2+ years, the tree huggers have been holding up that airport. And I think if we get that airport out here, we can bring in the bigger airplanes, bring in more commerce coming through the state of Nevada, and we can raise revenue that way, which will then bring in the companies that will need to have their warehouses here.
Don Woolbright again. and again, like I said, I really appreciate the fact that you've taken the time out of your life to run. I wish more people would. Running for a position like state assembly is not an easy one. It's very time consuming, it costs money, and unless you've got a lot of money coming in, or unless you've got a lot of money in the bank, you're going to have to do a lot of the work yourself, which means a lot of door knocking, door to door, and things like that. Have you taken a look at your district, your area, and can you give me an idea of what the borders are?
Kenneth King, my borders are between Craig Road and Centennial, from the Air Force Base to around Allen with a couple of jet outs there, and then it wraps around, takes a lot of the BML land, Air Force Base land. It takes in part of Indian Springs, but it's the northern part of 95, which is more still Air Force Base and BML land up there. Most of the stuff on the east side of the 15 is industrial. There's a few housing areas over there that are in 15, but I got most of the industrial area on the east side. So the majority of my district is between 15 and Allen.
Mike Murray, I'm a firearms trainer here in town. My question for you is the legislature seems to have nothing good to say about each other. Everybody's got a special thing that they don't want to cut. What do you think about the idea if nobody can agree, let's just cut everything 20%?
You threw me on that one, Kenneth King. You threw me on that one. Yes, everybody. I mean, nobody wants. You take the money out of their pockets. They want all that. That's one reason I feel strong on the zero-based budget. You know, it's like, okay, prove to me you need every dollar that you want, and you're not going to automatically get your pay raise. I mean, show me that you need this dollar for this. Hopefully that answers your question.
Do you have more questions?
Panel members have more questions? Okay, Don has another question?
I do, and I'm just, bear with me, I'm just testing your knowledge because you seem like a pretty good guy and you're the only one up there, so out of everybody up there, I'm going to pick on you.
Appreciate it. If it was easy, it wouldn't be worth doing.
And again, I'm just testing your knowledge because this is a very big deal, and you know, you look like a fine candidate, and I want to make sure that you're worthy of the vote. Do you have an idea what the budget is for the state of Nevada?
Unfortunately, I do not. I mean, like I said, I'm just getting into this. I just recently picked up that, actually, a nice gentleman sent this to me. So, you know, I'm starting to read this to try to get up on speed on some of the Nevada budget.
I appreciate your honesty. I really do. Thank you.
That's some sage advice.
Yes, it is.
So we have 5 minutes left. So if anybody from the audience has a question, does anybody from the audience have a question? No?
What about you, sir?
Panel members? Actually, I am a student of Nick Starling, United States Army Ranger, student of economics. Not meaning that I'm going to UNLV for economics. I'm saying that I do it on my own. But either way, are you aware of the fact that 85% of economists say that you should balance the budget over a business cycle or economic cycle, same thing, instead of a legislative session? Were you aware of that?
I'm somewhat aware of it. I'm not as much as aware of it as an economist or a business major is, but I am, you know, and I understand, you know, you need to run on a balanced budget. So, you know, I'm not going to sit up here and say I'm going to cut taxes. I'm not going to sit up here and say that I'm flat out not going to vote for taxes. I am against tax raises across the board. I don't see us needing to raise any taxes. I see us needing to get other industries and businesses into the state to supplement the taxes we already have.
I appreciate that. Would you like to relinquish the rest of the time? You got about 4 minutes, so if you want to...
I can relinquish the rest of the time.
Okay, you can do that, or you can...
Unless somebody else has a question for me.
Okay.
Like
All
I
right.
said, if it was easy,
So-
it's not worth doing.
Thank you for District 17.